it's a war that's always going in you, that fire that is there. Which side are you going to choose? Which side? Come on, chat.
What causes fires and quarrels among you? What fires start?
So I'm gonna bring this up. Seth,
Yo,
I want you to give me an example of
fights
a
and quarrels.
quarrel and fights among you.
Man, I've seen all kinds of fights and quarrels. Like, I've grown up in church. Okay, I've seen like Dalton and I. Ironically, Dalton went to church with me at a church. I'm not going to name the church, but we went to church together 14, 15 years ago. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And at this church, the opinion got broken out and busted, and it was saying, we will only use the King James Version in this church. We will only use the King James, and it will only be this. You cannot use any other translation. And this became a stance on God's word that didn't matter a hill of beans. But you guess what happens? Guess what happens there, Cook? You know what happened. You were there for part of it. There was two business meetings back to back for over 2 hours apiece, and people were fighting about the version of the Bible they were using because they were passionate about it. They believed on it. It's ridiculous. We fight about the stupidest things. Now, here's another thing. So I've seen it all in church work now. Like I've seen it all. Like I've had experiences that I'll never forget, but like oftentimes in church, quarrels happen because of passions and gossip a lot of times. I've experienced what happens with gossip firsthand. Like I've had people, like, oh, hey, this happened here. I didn't like that. And then it turns into something crazy. And then all of a sudden the bottom gets let out. And before you know it, because somebody got caught in what they were saying and what they were doing, and they had to back up and punt and put somebody on the curb. Like, it was stupid. Like, oh gosh. Like, whenever you mess up and you got to roll, like you got to pick and choose what you do. And like, sometimes our passions fight us and we make bad decisions because we're passionate about it. We just got to roll with the punches, and we got to pick and choose what we do. Like, we fight that all the time. If we're passionate about something, we want to stand on it, regardless of what it costs. And sometimes we pay an ultimate price whenever we choose to stand on our passions that are not of the word, not of God. And our pride gets in the way, and our opinion of the aspect. We forget about grace that abounds. We're going to talk about grace here in a little bit. We forget about grace was offered all this times, and we just want to quarrel amongst each other because we're passionate.